I didn't sleep that night at all. I had to show up for work the next day. I couldn't just call in sick. What do you say? I didn't sleep tonight? I mean, we got 300 Olympic athletes from 44 countries all over the world ready to compete. Over the next 9 days, it was crash after crash after crash. With each crash, it was brutal. But I had to put on the big smiley face. I had my cape on, and the world was watching. It's the moment we'd all been waiting for. Came down around through the 50-50, around the Thunderbird, around corner 16, through the finish line. Boom! We won gold. It was awesome. Everybody's dinging their bells and flags are waving and cheering, and oh boy, it was gold. Just outside of where I was standing, the biggest Canadian flag you'd ever seen. Said, "Hey man, give me that flag." So he gives me the flag, and I jump in the track and ran all the way around corner 16 with the flagpole in my hand and fist pumping the whole way, and all the way up the outrun, where right to the finish dock where Team Canada was celebrating. The crowd was going crazy. The media, everybody's taking their pictures. And I remember high-fiving Helen Upperton, and I gave Kaylee Humphries a big hug and high five to the girls and the coaches and the team and everybody. And an hour later, I went and tried to commit suicide. All I wanted to do is just go end my life. I couldn't take the depression. I couldn't live with the nightmares. I couldn't deal with the amount of anxiety and pain and guilt and shame that I had. The next 4 years, I lost my job as a volunteer ski patroller. I quit forest firefighting. I lost my job as a paid on-call firefighter. And I had to quit my job as an EMR at the Whistler Sliding Center. I lost my friends, and worst of all, I lost my family of 13 years. I just convinced myself that I was going to get better, but things were just actually going to get worse. That was the worst decision I could have ever made. I needed to get away. I needed to escape into the backcountry. I needed to go up to my cabin where there's nothing. There's no internet, there's no phones, there's no grocery stores, there's nothing. I had to learn how to hunt. If I was going to eat, I had to hunt my food. I couldn't just go to the store and buy it. And little did I know, I was starting to heal naturally. I was dreaming again. I was getting sleep. I cared. I wanted to wake up in the morning. I had set myself these little goals, and little did I know, all I was really doing was surviving, and I was just doing it naturally. I didn't have a psychiatrist meeting. I didn't have to go open up a can of worms on Friday, and I got an hour to do it. I got all day, and I got all night.
Standing there, I can't believe the way in which you face me. Yeah. There's a look that's in your eyes, don't it be described, so amazing. And a sweetness in your smile, don't it be defined, something special, sexy, wonderful. Something special, sexy, wonderful. Something special, sexy, wonderful. Something special, sexy, wonderful. Something special, sexy, wonderful.
Today, as Vancouver was celebrating the start of our Olympic Games, first responders were dealing with a tragedy up at the Whistler Sliding Center. The death of a Georgian athlete forever changed the life of one responder. Tonight, he's telling his story and beginning a remarkable journey to educate others. CTV's Shannon Patterson with that story.
Terrance Kosikar is getting ready to hit the road.
I've been training very hard for this since last year. And not only physically, this is just a third. The other third is mental, and the other third is spiritual.
In the woods, he found this old tractor tire.
And I started setting these little goals and flipping it every single day.
Flipping the 400-pound tire became a symbol of his battle against post-traumatic stress disorder. To raise awareness, he's taking it on an epic trek through the woods near Whistler.
30 kilometers in 30 days, over 7 mountains.
He's doing it for those who suffer in silence.
Yeah, dispatch, I'm at engine 1462, going to be 10-7, just for a minute for a social media clip, thank you.
3 months ago, before Breaking the Chains BC even started, I was over in a town called Bad Oberg, Germany, working with a kind man named Mr. Peter Dietz with the Bad Oberg Fire Department over there. I told him that, Peter, in the last 2 years, we've had over 97 emergency service providers die by suicide who are suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder. I asked him, Peter, what's the suicide rate over here in Germany? There isn't one. There's not a single...
Okay, well the mission is to raise awareness to post-traumatic stress disorder.
There's over 100 first responders in the last 2 years who've died by suicide. Police, paramedics, fire rescue, dispatch 911, corrections officers, lifeguards. 100 of our Canadian first responders have died by suicide.
So what we're actually out here doing today is talking to all of the public down here in Stanley Park and letting them know, making them aware that WCB is not recognizing post-traumatic stress disorder as a workplace injury.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Meeting Terrance through it's really changed my life. Being able to do something for a cause, like especially for PTSD, it's been empowering. And that we're all here for the same cause, it has a lot of strength behind it.
PTSD is a mental illness, and it's not visible, much like addiction isn't visible all the time.
So what we're doing is we've got a petition going around to the public. We're asking the public to help support us and get Bill M203 passed, which is the presumption of illness, that will allow a first responder who's been diagnosed with PTSD to get that help the minute he asks for it. Not a year or 2 or 3 of hoops through WCB. That's unacceptable.
Wasn't gonna happen.
Was invited over here by Mr. Shane Simpson, MLA Vancouver Hastings.
Nice to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Really nice to see you.
Really exciting to have a guy of his level of parliament come down and invite me up to his office for tea.
And it isn't that many years ago when nobody would talk about mental health because it was a stigma. A huge stigma that, oh, I'm sick in the head, I don't need to talk about that. But that's changing an awful lot. And more, I believe that people are accepting that having a mental health issue isn't a hell of a lot different than I broke my leg. It's a health issue. And you deal with it as a health issue and you provide the supports the same as I would come and fix your broken leg.
No.